Here is a question. Read it carefully and think about the answer. Let us solve it step by step. Let us first understand the key concept here. Periodic acid HIO4 cleaves vicinal diol and alpha-hydroxycarbonyl systems. Each C to C bond between two adjacent hydroxyl-bearing carbons or between a hydroxyl carbon and a carbonyl carbon is cleaved. Terminal CH2OH groups yield formaldehyde, HCHO, internal CHO groups yield formic acid, CHO, ketone aldehyde carbons adjacent to CHO yield formic acid or CO2 depending on context, but specifically a ketone flanked by OH groups yields formic acid, terminal CH2OH yields HCHO. Reaction 1 substrate, this is a 6-carbon to ketose, fructose type CH2OH, CHO-CHO-CHO, CH2OH, carbons 1 through 6. Carbon 1 is CH2OH, carbon 2 is C is equal to O, ketone, carbons 3, 4, 5 each bear O, carbon 6 is CH2OH. Periodic acid cleavage analysis for reaction 1. Bond C1, C2, C1 is CH2OH adjacent to C is equal to O, cleavage gives HCHO from C1 and the remainder. Bond C2, C3, C2 is C is equal to O adjacent to C3, or cleavage C2, ketone flanked on both sides, gives formic acid, CHO. Bond C3, C4, both bear or cleavage, C3 gives CHO. Bond C4, C5, both bear or cleavage, C4 gives CHO. Bond C5, C6, C5 bears or, C6 is CH2OH cleavage, C6 gives HCHO. So from reaction 1, C1, HCHO, C2, CHO, C3, CHO, C4, CHO, C5, CHO, C6, HCHO. Formaldehyde count from reaction 1 is equal to 2 moles. Reaction to substrate, this is a 6-carbon aldose, glucose type CHO, CHO-CHO-CHO-CHO, CH2O, carbons 1 through 6. Carbon 1 is CHO, aldehyde, carbons 2, 3, 4, 5 each bear O, carbon 6 is CH2O. Periodic acid cleavage analysis for reaction 2. Bond C1, C2, C1 is CHO, aldehyde, adjacent to C2 or cleavage C1 aldehyde gives CHO. Bond C2, C3, both bear or C2 gives CHO. Bond C3, C4, both bear or C3 gives CHO. Bond C4, C5, both bear or C4 gives CHO. Bond C5, C6, C5 bears or C6 is CH2O, C6 gives HCHO. So from reaction 2, C1, CHO, C2, CHO, C3, CHO, C4, CHO, C5, CHO, C6, HCHO. Formaldehyde count from reaction 2 is equal to 1 mole. Ratio of formaldehyde from reaction 1 to reaction 2 is equal to 1 is equal to 2. Therefore, the correct answer is ratio of reaction I and 2 is equal to 2. The correct answer is shown on screen.